Whew, man. Just woke up. Didn't think I was going to make it. I have some lousy lighting, don't I? I'm still fighting it. See, look at this, how it's on one side of my face. See this? It's because I got no place to put it. In front of me is a wall because I'm facing my computer, my computer screen. And also, I got the door right here. And so I'm worried that someone's going to come crashing through the door and knock over my beauty lamp. Listen, Dan needs all the help he can get. Honestly, let's see who all is here. I want to welcome everybody for coming to the live, because I talk about ridiculous things and I don't plan on changing anytime soon. I do have my coffee with me, and so I'm good to go. Inomako Cafe, my own buntag to all my friends in Visayas and all over the world. Yeah, those are the only words I know. Anime is here. Anime, welcome. Anime, thanks for sharing. And Larice, you're number one. You're first. Don't ever change. Thanks for always being here, by the way. I only had a couple of minutes to set everything up. And, my computer is fickle. It's a Walmart computer made out of used computer parts. That's why I got such a powerful system, but it doesn't work. By the way, when I first moved to the Philippines, we brought two computer systems, not one. We brought two. Both of them came from Walmart. They're called Gateway. Gateway used to be a global brand. And then they went out of business, and then Walmart bought up the remaining assets, and whatever was left, they just started piecing computers together to see what they could come up with, and I ended up with a couple of those. So they've been working so far, except one of the laptops, the power button failed, and that's on the main board. So I went to the computer shop here in Bye Bye Leyte, Philippines, Bye Bye City Leyte, a fine group of young men and women, of course. And they're ultimate techies. And I said to him, man, I need to fix this. I need to fix this. No balls chance in hell, they said to me. We have to order parts, or you have to order parts. We have no idea where to look for the parts. Parts is parts. So they diagnosed it, and they said, man, this power button, this switch is busted. It's only working intermittently. You're going to have to go and you're going to have to find the parts if you want us to fix it. We just can't take it in. We don't know where to get the parts. Maybe you can buy them on Amazon. Maybe you can buy them on Lazada or Shopee or something like that. So anyway, I went home and I turned on YouTube. Of course, when all else fails, you go to the YouTube channel. And I went into YouTube and I looked up a video. What do you do when your laptop power button fails? And I find out that it's a very common problem for which they have a fix. The fix was that you have to take the back off the computer and you have to jump the pin connectors by using a metal object or a coin. Mostly, I tell you what works really great is the point of a steak knife. You connect those two golden pin connectors together underneath, and then your computer turns on. Yeah, but I started worrying. Okay, this is a pain because how do you do updates and things like that? So I went back to him and I said, hey, you guys know, just like I know, because you're the rocket scientists here in Bye Bye City, that you can jump those pin connectors and the computer will start. And they go, yes, sir, we know that. We know how the computer works. I go, okay. So then why can't you devise some kind of a way of making this computer work? You should be able to figure out a way to jump those pins or to come up with some way, some innovative way, maybe it's a low-tech way even, of bypassing that switch, so that I don't have to keep taking the back of the computer off every time I want to start the computer. So Larice is here. Tim is here. Hi, Tim. Thanks for being here. I see that Larry Lee is here. Larry Lee is in the house. Larry, hi. Minnie says hey to everyone. She insisted that I remind everyone that she's there, and she's outside. We got a crew working today because we're working on a couple things around the house. But most importantly, it's raining like crazy. It's been raining here in Bye-Bye City Lake forever. It's never going to stop. But we're going to talk more about that in a little while, the weather. All right, back to the computer. First, Larice, always first. And so, where was I in the story? Oh, the pin connectors. So they go, yeah, we don't want to. We probably can devise something that will fix it, but here's the whole thing. We don't want to be responsible if we blow up the motherboard, because the delicate electronic welding has to occur. Yeah, I think they call it soldering, right? The delicate electronic soldering must take place. And if we blow the computer board up, we don't want to be responsible for it. So I told him, I said, listen, I trust you guys, but if the computer board blows up while you're working on it, just keep the thing and use it for parts. Just keep it, use it for parts. I won't be upset. I'll just go out and I'll have to find another computer. That's all. I have to find computers, they're going to blow up. They're going to go bad. Stuff's going to happen to them. I go, but if you're so lucky as to being able to figure out, if you're not lucky, but if you apply your brains and you come up with this, you put your skill sets together and you come up with a way of making it work where I don't have to take the back off all the time, an external way of turning it on or off, then I will be so happy. And then, by the way, if you get it to work, reformat the hard drive and take Windows 11 off of there. Flush it, and reload Windows 11 back on there. I would truly appreciate it. So then they were like, oh, okay, all right. Since you said that if we blow it up, we could have your parts. Parts is parts. And so we'll give it our best effort. And if we're successful, we will reformat the hard drive and put Windows 10 back on it. Of course, no explanation was needed on the Windows 10 thing. Everybody hates Windows 11. They hate it. And Windows 10 is a better option. And so, anyway. Well, one day later, they call me. Mr. Dan, we did not blow up the computer. We found a way. We found the workaround. We did not blow up your computer. It's ready to go. The hard drive has been. Madeline, how you doing, Madeline? Thanks for coming to the live. The hard drive has been reformatted. You have Windows 10. You're good to go. I said, what are the damages? They said, I did give them a limit. I gave them an upper limit of $100 American. I said, if it exceeds that, just take the computer, fling it out there into the middle of the street until some multi-cab driver runs over it, and then send me a video of that, and I'll share it with my YouTube audience. They said, are you serious? Yes, of course I am. So they had a limit. The upper limit was $100 American. I figured it would be worth fixing. I paid only $400 for the computer in the Walmart. Everybody that doesn't know what a Walmart is, it's kind of like a Metro Mart. That's the best way to describe it. It's like Metro. So if you go into Metro, that's your Walmart. It's Metro here in the Philippines, the Metro equivalent of a Walmart. So anyway, they were able to fix it. I went and I asked them what the damages were. They said 800 pesos, and I was elated. And then they showed me what they did. They took an insulated wire, a very thin insulated wire, right? So there are two wires, and they routed them into each one of those. They soldered it to those pin connectors inside the computer, and then they ran it outside through the side of the computer where my power supply is. And they said, all you have to do is take a peso coin and hold it like such, with a peso coin against the wire, press down on it, and the computer will start. Now I'll be doggone if it didn't work. Emmeline, it's so nice to see you here. Thank you so much. I was just thinking about you yesterday. I was in your YouTube channel yesterday, by the way, because you came to mind. And I was like, I wonder how Emmeline is doing, and I'm going to go in there and check out. I think you were doing a live. All right, I do a lot of lurking, you know. Oftentimes I don't let people know that I'm there. I don't know why I do that, but I was there. Trust me, I was there, Emmeline. I'm not fibbing. I was thinking about you. I went in there. I saw you were doing something. I don't know if you posted a video or something, but I was checking things out. Anna Mae, what do you say? Anna Mae, listen, here's the whole thing about being sick. Anna Mae's she's had some challenges the past week, and so have I. I just want to share with you that the weather is killing me. You know, it is killing me. You know, it's giving me a little respiratory weird feeling down here and a little bit in the back. And the sinuses are killing me. You know, it's like somebody putting your head or your sinuses in a vice and then cranking that bad boy until your head explodes. That's what I've been having to deal with. And then so the wifey has been feeding me ginger and lemon tea, and that definitely helps. So if you folks, these Filipino remedies, some of these Filipino remedies, I have a lot of faith in, and one of them is lemon and Maco Cafe. Anyway, you got to take the root tea, because if you don't get the root tea with the lemon in it, then you're not going to get better. As soon as I start drinking that, right? As soon as I start drinking that ginger lemon tea, I start feeling better right away. Tim says, Dan, a lamp doesn't help your natural beauty. I know, you know, and beside that, why should I be blessed with good looks when I have a face made for radio? Why should I be blessed with good looks? Who knew that I would become a YouTube superstar? Who knew, without the help of Larisse and Melanie and Anna Mae and Filipina Raquel and Sammy and others? Who knew that I would become a YouTube superstar? No, I'm just joking. It hasn't happened yet. But YouTube superstars are what we're going to be talking about today also, after I get through my computer story. So we're using this computer for editing, you know, and so my video editor needs it, you know, and listen, I didn't know they teach how to use computers in school here in the Philippines, especially here in the provinces. But she's by touch, not by sight. So she can make that computer sing. She just has a conversation going on with me while she is video editing. And it's a very, very impressive thing to watch. And then she, you know, she's kind of like, oh man, I'm getting a headache. I don't even know how a person can do that. It is a left brain, right brain type of functionality, you know, that I do not have that ability. I'm like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I cannot do it. So obviously you guys have been watching the videos and you know how the editing has improved. And obviously, Tim, you have a video editor because your editing has improved. Take a little shot at you, brother. Take a little shot. Larry Lee, You're suck. No, no, I didn't mean to say that. It just came out. Larry Lee, your videos are fine because of your subject matter. Oh my gosh, I have so much to share. Okay, so the computer's fine. Manolin, amen. Amen. And Larice, this Philippines' most eligible bachelorette and ladder climbing socialite. And of course, Larry Lee's here. And what would the live stream be without Larry Lee? Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, I gotta get comments going because I don't want you to see that I'm wearing this this checkered shirt that I brought here from the U.S. of A. Good morning, Madeline. Just want to say thank you much, Sir Dan, from the bottom of my heart. What are friends for, Larice? What are friends for? It's a no-brainer. You know, it's a no-brainer. You got to help those out that help you. You know, I don't have to think about it. Hey, Billy is here, brother from a different mother. I was thinking about you the other day too. I was going through my subscriptions and I saw your name and I was like, dang, what is Billy up to? Billy, it's so nice to see you here. Thanks for stopping by and saying hey. And Crystal was cracking me up. Crystal puts up there the picture of the pet elephant that from Thailand. Crystal puts it up on Facebook, and she says that it's imported, and because it's imported, quite possibly it's a breeder. Listen, that elephant is the cutest thing that, you know, it's the cutest elephant that I've ever seen. Let's put it that way. So Crystal's Adventures in the house. Crystal, thanks so much for being here. Yahoo. And guess who else is here? Angelica. Hi, Angelica. I hope things are going well for you. You know, I hope they don't flunk you out of school. I hope they don't, you know, I hope they don't give you, you know, a low grade. That wouldn't be right because you work so hard. Yeah, it's donut time, but here's the thing. Dan has to back up on the carbs a little bit, and we're going to talk about that today too. Yeah, those carburetors are killing me. So I talked about the weather, but how could I possibly stand here and discuss how the weather is making me ill when I'm drinking coffee and eating carburetors all day? Good morning, Anime. What do you say? I pray that you will be getting well soon. I hope you're feeling better. Ginger and lemon tea, Anime. That's the secret to this. You could hear that I'm stuffed up a little bit. You could hear that I'm a little bit nasal today. Yeah. Listen, no, I'm not going to start picking my nose in front of you all or blowing my nose. That would not be right. Besides that, you never know what kind of accidents could occur in trying to do that. I could actually blow out my brain, the back part of my, whoosh. Yeah, we wouldn't want that to happen because that's a very, very messy thing to have to show on YouTube. People have done it. I don't endorse it. I do not endorse blowing your nose on YouTube. No. Zendi Papa's here. Good morning. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate that. Zendi is here. Oh, you guys are all putting just a great big smile on my face. Yeah. Elephant Adventures. You know what? You know what? You could run with that, Crystals. You could run with that elephant. You know, you could run with the elephants by every day you show a different picture of it, feeding it a banana, feeding it peanuts, getting it an elephant friend, you know, something like that. That would be hilarious. You have a whole YouTube clips or whatever they're calling them, right? Facebook, whatever it is, clips, video clips, whatever they're calling them. I can't stand Facebook. You guys know that I have not posted in Facebook in a long ass time. Now, I'm not saying that I will never post. I just won't be doing it personally because I hate the format. I hate it. Facebook is just another, you know, you have so many innovative multimedia platforms coming out there, and you guys want to spend all your time in Facebook. Please, please, subscription on Facebook is falling like a rock all over the world. Haven't you guys read that in the paper? Only the Philippines, it's growing. Find something else to do with your time because it takes you away from doing the real work that needs to be done on YouTube to monetize this channel. Focus, people. Focus. Focus. I'm not saying you all have to agree with me about my opinion. Focus. Focus. It's YouTube that you need to focus on. Focus on YouTube. That's where the real money is. Dan, my face was made to hide from the radio, and my voice is made to speak so low, nobody can hear me. That's fun. That's fun. Oh, okay. So the computer story's done, and pretty much, and so it's working. And yeah, me too. Well, all you got to go do, Tim, is go back in time and look at my first videos moving forward. And you could see how my videos suck. People were like being very kind to me. Oh, you never know. We better support Dan because he might end up becoming a YouTube superstar. And so if I disrespected Dan by saying your videos suck, well then, then he won't take the time out of his busy, famous schedule in order to meet with me so I can get his autograph. Something like that, right? Oh, I love you, Larice. You know that. Daisy Lynn's here. Daisy Lynn will be live soon. Yeah, the elephant. Yeah, the elephant in the room. Live on Sir Dan's. Hi, Daisy Lynn. Thanks so much for being here. Always sharing. Daisy Lynn is one of the most selfless people that I know on this entire planet. We're connected like this, Daisy Lynn. You and I, just like this. Hey, she's shy. She's shy. No, not so much. Oh, I feed the elephant with donuts and it hasn't grown even a little. Well, you know something. As long as you and the elephant are happy, that's the most important thing. And I see that there always is a smile on your faces. So maybe you should switch over to peanuts. Yeah, elephants will work for peanuts. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm having too much fun already this morning. All right, now that we have the introductions out of the way, hey, who's this? Monet, Cat. I hope I said that right. Manet. Is it Manet? Hi. Thanks for coming, Manet. Appreciate you being here. Okay, do 3 sessions. My Visine is still a little bit weak. Yeah, carbohydrates, not necessarily. Well, carburetors, whatever they're calling them these days. I'm not too technical, Tim. Okay, you're using lemon water. Listen, lemon water cannot hurt you. It can help you. You should be drinking lemon water. folks. Follow Crystal's advice and drink a glass of lemon water every single day. Lemon water keeps the doctor away, but just doesn't roll off the tongue, the way that you'd like it to. Hard to remember, lemon a day keeps the doctor away, You need to ingrain that in your brain. Melanie is here. Hi, Mel. How's everything in Bye Bye City Lady? Oh, Mel just reminded me of something. Doggone it. You see why it's important that you show up to these live streams? When I see your name, then it reminds me of something. Not necessarily something that occurred with you. Although, I try and keep that stuff, out of the news. I try and keep that stuff secret. But I mean, anything personal about you, Mel, I'm not going to share with anybody. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Daisy Lynn, I was looking the other day about where you are geographically so I can plot. I'm plotting the plan to meet with you. I'm plotting right now. And so I looked on the map and I see how you're north of Manila, just a little bit north and to the left, I think it is, or is a little bit north and to the left. But anyway, it's right there. I'm getting close. And we have Al Bobby. Hello, Poster Dan. How you doing there? One of my favorite supporters. Because of the hyphenated name, see, it kind of looks like Alibaba, but it's not. It looks like baby the way that to Americans, Al Babi, something like that. Anyway, oh my goodness gracious. It's easier to spell it out, than it is to say it, I'm sure. We'll have to do a one-on-one interview so I can figure out, what the actual pronunciation of your name is. All right, so let's talk about what I was going to talk about. That Mel reminded me of, right? Tropical Tim in the Philippines is here. Tropical Tim in the Philippines. I'm going to have to write notes because I have to remind myself what I'm going to talk about. Number one, I don't remember. Number two, can't remember that either. Number three, something about, I can't remember that. Number four, while I'm thinking about what I want to talk about, I should be writing this stuff down, don't you think? And that way I could just segue right into these things. But what I wanted to share with you, folks, is that I met the other day. I'm a fan of, and I met. He just comes walking into the Dunkin'. Mel, this is what you reminded me of, Mel. I don't know if you've ever been hanging around downtown Bye Bye City Leyte, Mel, and then maybe you and Des are hanging around, and you're hanging around Bye Bye City acting goofy. And then you run into Brent. Brent is the beekeeper. He has his own channel, right? So Brent comes walking in. Beekeeping in Paradise is his channel name. If you haven't already gone in to subscribe, I encourage you to go in there and see what Brent is up to. And so Brent comes walking in. And, he comes walking in, he's going up to the Dunkin' Donuts counter and blah, blah, blah. And then he's looking around and then our eyes lock. Hey, you're the beekeeper, I said to him. I said, yeah, that's right. I'm the beekeeper. And you're, and then he didn't remember. He said, but once we got the introductions out of the way, right? Then he said, I have watched your channel. He said, I watched it years ago and I got bored and, canceled my subscription. Well, Brent. I was like, well, Brent, thanks for sharing, Daisy Lynn. I could always count on you. Brent stands there and he talks to Minnie and I for a little while and tells us what's going on in his life. And you know what? Brent, he leads a very exciting life. I just want to say that. But if you want to find out just how exciting of a life Brent leads, then you go over to his channel. You know, his channel is Beekeeping in Paradise. And he has like, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 members, subscribers. You guys are missing out if you don't go in and see his channel. He's raising bees. He's raising honeybees. But alas, he has not had much success in growing honey. I don't know. Listen, I'm not going to sit there and tell the man how to keep bees and to make honey. I have no idea how that is done. Des is here. Des, did you hear me give you an honorable mention a little while ago? I was saying that maybe you and Mel have been hanging around Bye Bye City Lake and you've run into the beekeeper, Brent. He's hard to miss, you know, because he has sort of this howdy doody sort of, you know, persona. He's hard to miss, really. And he's living in town, of course. He has a house in town. Hoy. So go and sign up. Go and sign up and go see what Brent is all about. That's Beekeeping in Paradise. So let me just check that. That was actually number 1 on my list to talk about. Good morning, Des. We're so happy that you're here. We're so happy that 15 people are in the chat. Oh, my goodness gracious. Folks, support each other. I know you do in this chat. I know most of you are participants. Yeah, you're not lurking in the background like me. Yeah. All right. So what's the next thing I want to talk about? All right. I know I beat this subject to death, and every time I talk about it, I say that this is the last time I'm going to talk about it. And then it never is. I just keep droning on right about it. It has to do with the stuff that keeps going around in a big circle. It's almost like a big growing pile of dung, you know, that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Just like a big, giant BS emoji, you know. Listen, people are very dogmatic when they approach the subject. I'm going to start talking about it. I am no different. I'm as dogmatic. You have to do it Dan's way. It's Dan's way or the highway. Yeah. No use in us being friends if you don't follow the same belief system that I have. No, I'm just kidding, of course. But I'm not going to declare that this is the last time that I'm going to be talking about it, because I know better than that, right? I know better than that. But people present it differently, right? They present the topic of health insurance for expats differently. I shouldn't even be spending any time on this subject at all. And one reason is because that my demographic is or are Filipinas. It's not foreign. It's not Westerners. It's Filipinas. It's married Filipinas. It's single Filipinas, and it's single mom Filipinas. That's my demographic, 80-something%. And so in a moment after I'm finished boring you with the health insurance, the latest, then we're going to talk about the demographics a little bit and why I think it's very, very important. Well, yes. Well, Tim, if you missed my last live, I said that. I said basically that a couple of beers a day will cure what ails you. Now, I also said that, and I know how most of you feel about this alcohol thing. I know most of you are on the wagon, but listen, it's up to you. I'm not going to force a San Miguel painted label down your throat. I'm not going to come to your house with a bottle of tuba wine. Have no fear about that. I'm just talking about what I do. I didn't drink for years, right? But I never went to anybody and I said, listen, I don't drink alcohol and I'm never going to drink it. Never, ever, 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 never. I never said that. What I said to people was, I'm saving it for retirement. And then I'm going to become, a happy drunk. So, but truth of the matter is, I was joking about that. I was joking. I had no intention, nor do I encourage or greenlight drinking for the purpose of getting drunk. But I try to explain to people, age has everything to do with this. Hey, Jerry's here. Jerry, thanks for coming. Jerry from South Texas, go in there. He calls South Texas home, and for a very good reason. Go into Jerry's channel and check it out. And you'll see things that are very, very interesting. I particularly like when he goes into the small town around him, where he's going through that neighborhood, kicking rocks. Yeah. And exploring burnt out cars. I really like that. All right, let's see. Tropical Tim sounds like great medical advice. Yes, actually it is. So you just don't drink to excess. A couple of beers isn't going to do it for you. It isn't going to get you drunk. It's just a couple of beers. So remember I mentioned Tim K. Tim K was off the mark. Listen, Tim K is giving you this information from his perspective, a young man's perspective. Should a young man be going around Cebu City or Masan throwing back 40s, walking down the street, throwing back 40s? I think not. I think that that's great advice for Tim K. But he made an improper connection between health, staying in good health, and drinking beer, as though beer is detrimental to a person's health, which it is not in moderation. Nothing is detrimental to your health in moderation. But Tim K, a young 40-year-old man, or however old he is, but he's somewhere 40 or mid 40s. Tim K says, you have to be really, really concerned about your health. Well, everybody does, Tim. Everybody does, no matter where they live, anywhere around the world. They should be concerned about their health, right? And then he ends up getting a million views or whatever it was. Oh my gosh, it was so ridiculous. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, a couple of beers a day keeps the doctor away. That's the bottom line. Yeah. Oh, let me get down here. Let me get caught up in the chat. Who's here? Who's here? Who's here? Oh, the resurrected Larice has taken time out of her busy schedule to be here. Oh, my goodness gracious. Thank you so much for coming. All right. So Abby is in the house. Abby. How you doing, Abby? Thanks for coming. I see you there, Abby. And, my pronunciation is really bad. Life is here. Life is here. I'm going to jump down here, guys, real quick in the chat, because I could see that I'm, doing my usual falling behind. And hey, hi. If you have a channel where you're waving, you can't be all that bad, right? All right, so Tim K, you were off the mark on that. It was a non sequitur. It doesn't go together, health and beer drinking, Not after you reach age 60 or 65, you can do whatever the hell you want. You're retired, You're retired. There's no one that's going to come into my life and tell me what I've got to do. There is no one. The only one that's in charge of me is me. I just like to point that out, Tim K. Now, Tim, what it did do is I started thinking, the old critical wheels up here started to roll, I started thinking, hey, is Tim K bringing this up because there was a connection in his life between drinking and his health? That's what I was wondering, right? Tropical Tim is here. Yeah, so I was wondering that maybe that Tim had a problem. And he's sharing it with other young 45-year-old men so that they don't fall into the same pit. But once you reach a certain age, then you have to think about the health benefits of drinking alcoholic beverages once you surpass a certain age. And you're going to find out some remarkable information about that. I'm not doing it because it prolongs my life. I am not doing it because I'm expecting that it's going to prolong my life. I'm only talking about it because Tim K made the connection. So anyway, let's segue. Let's leave that alone for a second. Because it's starting to sound like sour grapes. Did you get that, Larry? Sour grapes. Yeah, it's starting to reek of fermented grapes in here. So we'll just leave that alone for a minute. All right, but it's a great segue into health insurance. So now I know you guys in the West, you watch. He was laughing. Des is laughing. So I know you guys watch Mike's Philippine Adventure, Mike's Philippine Journey, or Mike's Philippine Retirement. There, I got it. Mike's Philippines Retirement. Not the other Mike, not the M-Y-K, whatever, however he spells it, ridiculous. Sissy Lala way that he spells his name. No. I shouldn't have said that because that's Filipino spelling. Listen, I'm out of control today. I'm out of control. Someone's going to have to stop me. All right, but here's the thing. It's Mike's Philippine Retirement. So now I like his channel, right? Because I don't know why, he's just a little bit different personality, slightly different personality than Steve over at the Philippine Information Channel, which is equally good, right? So, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, obviously it was Steve, and then it was Mike, right? So Mike's so I guess all I have to do if I want to get, Pumpkin Joe. Listen, I don't want to get involved in controversy, but, he's struggling over there raising the bees, right? Someone is raising bees in the Philippines. I didn't think they had the flower bees usually pollinate. There's a whole bee community here in the Philippines. And you've heard of the Bohol honeybee farm, except I don't think there are any bees there either. I think they're importing the honey and then just putting their label on it. Anyway, yeah, he's struggling, and I think that season for flowering isn't until next month, right? Doesn't it start next month? A typical spring season. So it's been raining here like crazy in Baybay City Leyte. It rains 6 times more frequently than it does in the rest of the Philippines. This is problematic, but they have beekeeper communities here, right here in Baybay City Leyte and all up and down the island of Leyte. So I know it can be done. As Brent stated in one of his videos, right, he said beekeeping is a local hobby. It's a local, in other words, you can't get a book that shows you how to grow honey and bees because it doesn't tell the whole story. It's a local type of deal where you have to find out what works in your locality. That's what it's all about. And, so he's going through this phase where he's trying to figure it out, but I have no doubts that Brent is going to be able to figure it out. A natural honeybee waiver. Yes. Yeah. Well, he was telling me he's not even getting beeswax right now. Beeswax. And so you have to have beeswax before the bees will make honey. Now, how do I know that? Ask me that question. How do I know that? I know that because I watched Brent's videos, and you should be too. You should be watching too. And if you do, then you too will know how to grow bees and honey. So anyway, all right. The Pumpkin Joe's Philippine experience. I do know pumpkins do grow here, by the way. All right, so back to the health insurance. So I appreciate Mike, but you know what? Here's when I go into detail about answers, in response to to what they're saying about health insurance, particularly when they say, quit your Medicare, you don't need it, blah, blah, blah. Not if you're going to be living in the Philippines for the rest of your life. That is a mistake, folks. Filipinas. Oh, Beth is here. Hi, Beth. Thanks for coming. I didn't know that you stepped in here. Thanks so much for being here. Here's the thing, about the health insurance. I'm sorry for tapping my thumb on the countertop. I know you guys heard that. It probably hurt your ears, but I apologize because I realize my condenser mic is right there. All right. So, and my coffee cup, by the way, is over here on the other side. Mako Cafe. And I have another pot on in the kitchen right now. So anyway, thank you for giving me a like, and I'm giving you a like. I like you, Beth. So here's the thing about the health insurance. Filipinas, if you end up marrying a foreigner and then they start talking this smack, just take one of those bamboo things, Just take a short piece of bamboo and just hit them upside the head, because they're making a mistake. They're making a big mistake. And I've already explained why. Don't do it. Keep your Medicare and your Part B, your A and your B in place. Here's another thing. When you're moving to the Philippines, this whole controversy about, $1,000 budget. So thing is that you can live on $1,000 budget. So there, you can live in Bye City on $1,000 very comfortably. Anybody who tells you that you can't, they have not been here, because I know what my budget is, and my budget does not exceed $1,000 per month. So there, who wants to argue with me on that point? Who would like, Steve, are you there? Steve from the Information Channel? Huh? Mike's Philippine retirement. You want to have a debate about that? And also, here's the other thing. I've heard somebody say, yeah, see how quick I fit. Of course, we can polish off a bottle really quickly around here. We keep 2 cases all the time on hand. And we'll usually drink 1 quart of Paint the Label per day, but I'm not drinking it by myself. I'm drinking it with friends. I'm a social drinker. Either Minnie and I are sitting there and we're going to polish off one of them bad boys, or someone else is going to be hanging around and we're going to be drinking that. 2 cases all the time, sitting right here in the kitchen. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, man, see. Jerry, you're always welcome. Okay. Pumpkin Joe. Pumpkins grow. All right. So don't do that. Listen, here's the other thing. I just would like to point out the other thing. Folks, if you're coming here to live, right, and all you got is $1,200 a month to spend, is that the same $1,200 that you would have had to live on in the United States? I just want to ask that question. Is it the same $1,200? So people are telling you to stay home because you only have $1,200 a month, and then you're going to stay home. And where are you going to live? You're going to be on the sidewalk? Are you going to be on the sidewalk with a sleeping bag with a million other people? A little homeless joke there. I do apologize to my homeless friends. Are you going to be sitting there? Are you going to be sitting there thinking, "Gosh, I have $1,200. I have this fine view of the city skyscrapers right here from the sidewalk. This will make a great house." That's your life. The difference between your life in the Philippines versus the United States is you actually can live in a house or an apartment here in the Philippines where you can't in the United States. That's the difference. So would you think that Dan would tell somebody, don't come to the Philippines if you only have $1,200 a month to spend? Hell no. I'm not telling people that, because that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And so the premise behind all these people coming on YouTube saying, you better up your budget game because it costs a whole lot of money to live in the Philippines. Well, why don't you, for verification, why don't you just go ask any Filipina in this room how much it costs to live here? And they will be square with you and tell you how much. You know, well, how much does it cost to live in the United States? You ask Dan. I just came from there. I know how much it costs. Right? It's expensive as hell. I'd rather be here. I'm not going to tell anybody to don't come, you know, if they only have $1,000 per month to spend. Are you guys getting this? I'm not going to tell them that because that's stupid. You know, even the whole medical debate is stupid, right? People should not come here to die. You know, well, where are they going to go? Where are they going to go and die if you have $1,000 per month? Where are they going to go? No, I believe in other things that they're saying. Like, for example, you shouldn't burden your Filipina wife or any other wife, an American wife or any wife. You shouldn't burden them with having to bury you. You should not. I believe that with all my heart. And so all the suggestions about, you know, saving money before you come here, they're all great suggestions, right? They're all great suggestions, but that's common sense. That's just plain common sense. You know, but I'm not telling everybody don't come here, right? Do not come here with, you know, that's my trademark, Tropical Tim. I'm pretending that I'm in a tropical climate, which I am, by the way. So don't tell them don't come here if they only have $1,000. If it's the same $1,000 that they're living on in the United States, they most certainly can live here in the Philippines on that. Don't tell people don't come. You know that, oh, once you get here, you're going to have a heart attack and die. Would you not have a heart attack in your own country and die? Oh my goodness gracious. I'm sorry for getting so wrapped up in this debate. The other thing that I want to talk about was that I have no segue for this, right? But it's called Shack Up Honey Syndrome. Since my demographic are Filipinas, I'm talking to you. Do not become the Shack Up Honey. Please don't become the Shack Up Honey. Some Westerner comes along, do. Here they come walking down the street. They catch you guys, you know, just like in a movie, you make eye contact, and the next thing you know, you're running towards each other, la da, yada da 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 da, yada dee, and you give each other a great big hug, and you say, "I found you, I found you, I found you." And the next thing you know, you're moving in together, right? Don't do it. Do not do it. If you're a foreigner, don't do it. If you're a Filipina, don't do it. Because you'll get used to that idea. You will never marry, and there are no benefits that could be bestowed upon your wife should you meet your demise and then leave the person that you say you love hanging out there high and dry. I'm sorry. I don't believe in it. Just leave well enough alone. Just leave well enough alone. If you're not going to marry her, right? If you're not going to marry her, leave her alone. You know, do not become Filipinas. Do not become the Shack Up Honey. Do not. You know, do not. Because there's nothing good that can come of that unless you marry. You know, what? Is he going to give you a debit card in your name so you can go down to the bank and pull money out whenever you need it? Or is he going to say, "Oh, honey, just come to me if you need something, and then I'll just go get it for you if we have the money." And then you never know how much money and pension the person's receiving. You're not a wife. You're the Shack Up Honey. You're not a wife. You're the girlfriend. You're living there. You know, you're living there, and you may be reaping some benefits during the moment, but what you're concerned about is your future. Why is this important to me talking about it? Because my demographics are Filipino women. They're not Western men. Western men watch Steve at the Information Channel. They watch Mike at Mike's Philippine Retirement. They watch Steven Steven. Who am I thinking of? They're watching Tim Kaye. They're watching all these other people who are just sharing their dream with them, not the reality. They're sharing the dream, right? Because that's going to give them that extra income, because people will watch those videos and then the income will be derived from it, and they could make their way in the world. And I have no objection to that. But shacking up and not marrying is bad advice for both parties. I'm not just saying for the Western men, I'm saying for both parties, it's not a good idea. And so the Filipina Pete talked about it on her latest video. Not that specifically, but go in there and see what she has to say. She gives you some interesting things, some interesting topics to think about, like the separation rate, the divorce rate in the West, in the United States in particular, versus in the Philippines, and the difference in culture, right? So why am I hanging with you gals? Why am I hanging with you gals? It's because I know what's about to happen, or I think I know what's about to happen. Beth and Tim, yeah, I can do that. I have to take a break and go into my phone and see what's going on. Yeah, I'm a little late seeing the message. They might already be gone. Let me follow my link in my phone. So you see, if you do that, there, go watch the Filipina P's latest video, where she's talking about things that I think are important to know. Things like Philippine women will fool around on their spouse like only 10% of the time, while American men do it all the time. Stuff like that, No. Listen, I'm making a little joke there. I want you to go in there and get the factoids. I want you to go in there and I want you to learn, See, here's Pumpkin Joe saying, Pumpkin Joe, I know. See, I know it's ridiculous what's going on YouTube. Our cost of living is well below 1,000 USD. All of our things, including the house and lot, is paid for, though. Well, yes. Well, that's just, an important part of planning. The same for us. The same for us. But we still have mouths to feed. We still have support. Beth, added as moderator. All right, so now this new thing, it says managing moderator or standard moderator. I have no idea. I don't even know why there's a difference. I really don't. I don't understand how it works. I haven't done my research. I'm falling behind. Pumpkin Joe's, thanks for being here and supporting me and with that thought. Beth, Tropical Tim, Jacket. And like I said, I don't know the difference yet between what a standard moderator is and the other managing moderator. I'll have to figure it out. Yeah, and so I must have missed a couple of you. I apologize. Okay, so now standard moderator. Okay, thank you. All right, so So listen. Come over and take a look for yourself. That's the only way that you're gonna get a sense of it. Yeah, sure. You could live in the big city and you could pay as much rent as you want for a place, So that leads me to sharing another thought with you. Hey, Marianne Salonga's here. Abby, Tim. I couldn't live in the States for the same price, and I have the quality of life and care that I have here. That's what I'm saying, Tim. Thanks again. Thanks for chiming in and letting people know that you're making it here, because you will be able to make it too. So now I realize the Filipinas, my main demographic in here, you're probably getting bored with the subject, but maybe you should be paying attention in case you're single or single mom and you're looking to get with a Westerner for companionship, right? But it should be of a permanent nature, right? I did a 14-part series on living in the Philippines on $600 a month. I don't recommend it, but it can be done. It's all about lifestyle. That's exactly right. Go in, subscribe to Tropical Tim in the Philippines. Sounds like he knows what he's talking about. And so, yes, you can do it. It isn't a pleasant experience for Westerners, right, that want certain comforts, but you can do it. And so the people that are bailing, they're probably bailing because of peer pressure from others from the West. People are screaming at them. But I mean, I have plenty of money at $1,000 a month. I mean, plenty. Well, some of you know that I share it with you on occasion. I share some of that with you on occasion. I mean, so how could it be? How could it be that Dan doesn't have enough money to live on in the Philippines? You know, or Dan is fibbing. He can't live on $1,000 per month. Yeah, of course you do. You can do it. And so now the other thing is, but don't fall into this thing. If you're Filipino, I'm protecting you. I'm just protecting you. And I'm also at the same time protecting the men from the West. Don't come over here and do the shack up honey routine. You know, it may work out just great. You know, but Filipina P was pointing out that when she goes around, she keeps hearing men saying, Western men, oh no, I'm never going to get married again, blah, 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 blah. And at the same time, they have the steady living girlfriend. What the heck? What the heck? And they're avoiding the paper at all costs. And she's giving the reasons why marriage doesn't work the same way in the East as it does in the West. And so you go into Filipina P and put that together along with the cost of living with Tropical. And you're going to get the whole truth, the whole picture, you know? I think that this stuff just gets views, you know, and that's the reason why people do it. You know, stop drinking. It's your health that's at risk. My health is at risk anyway. I'm age 65. I'm not getting any younger. My health is at risk whether I put the bottle to my lips or not, folks. I'm not telling people to go out and drink. Know the difference. I'm not saying go out there and throw back 40 ounces all day long. Where did you hear me say that? It's just other people connecting health to drinking. It's a non sequitur. They don't go together. You know, eat an apple a day. Drink lemon water for health. Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so, and live on $1,000 per month budget. So I had said in my last live stream, I go into the what Brent refers to as the Embassy of the United States, the Bye Bye Latte branch, which is the Dunkin' Donuts. Brent was cracking me up, so I got to give him credit for that joke. I go in there and do Dan's mini survey. People are sick of me, just like you are sick of me talking about this. And they say, can you live? So I say, Dan says to them, you know, can you live in Bye Bye City Latte for less than $1,000 a month? I already do, Dan. Me too. Me too. I do too. Stop talking about it. You know, we want to vomit. Stop talking about it, Dan. You're just rehashing the same thing over and over and over again. Thank you, Larissa. I already did that. I did standard. I did standard because I didn't know what the other thing was, right? So everybody's cool. Everybody's cool. And Larissa, you watch me, right? Watch me. Keep an eye on me, Larissa. Make sure that I do everything right. Make sure that if somebody needs a jacket, you let me know. So, you're here in Palawan and it's hot outside. Hey, by the way, I'll be in Palawan. I think by April or May, somewhere in there. And so hopefully we'll get a chance to hook up. But we're on our way to Palawan. We've decided we're going to go. Oh, and one more thing. I know. I know people will probably critique me. People will probably critique me for this. But criticize me if you must. But Ma'am Minnie and I are going to be looking for an apartment in Cebu because I just think that Cebu is the perfect launching off place to everywhere. Anywhere you want to go in the world, Cebu is a perfect takeoff location. So what we're going to do is we're going to start looking for an apartment, most likely in Mandawi, and all our Cebu Filipino friends will most likely be thrilled. So yeah, tropical climate. All right. So because I'll be accessible because we'll be right there in Mandawi, and I'll be hanging around. I'll be hanging around. You'll probably will see me in the malls. You'll probably will see me at, hanging around. Right, Cindy? So, yeah, of course of course we have a home. And so we're going to be moving back and forth. Folks, it's so easy to get across the water from Bye City Lake to Cebu. It's so easy. Just go like this. Walk to the pier. Get on the boat. And next thing you know, you're in Cebu. That's how easy it is. That's how easy it is. Hi. Hi. Let's see what Larry says. Larry, Dan, if one has a low budget, they must keep that in mind when looking for a place to live. If your budget's only $1,000 US, you should not rent a place that's half your budget or more. But that's what they do to you in the United States, Larry. I mean, 50% of your budget for most people goes towards rent. 50% of your monthly budget. Of course, you're giving great advice. You have to be, obviously, you're not going to want your rent to exceed 25% of your monthly budget. So you would be looking for a place for $250 per month. And so, by the way, that is just about our budget for living in Mandawi. And our friend who lives over there, who's going to be looking for us, who's in that real estate game, says that ain't enough money, Dan. So I said to them, well, we'll see. There's some flexibility in there, but I wouldn't mind paying on the top end $300 a month US. What is that? 15,000 pesos at 50 to 1. If you can keep it underneath that umbrella, that would be great. Keep it underneath that umbrella so we don't get wet. Well, then what can you do? What can you do, Tim? What can you do? Besides that, I thought she comes to visit. I didn't think you were shacking up. The whole thing is what benefits are going to be bestowed upon your girlfriend should something happen to you, as opposed to what benefits would be bestowed upon your wife should something happen to you. There's a big difference, right? The big difference is that after being married 2 years, my wife, Minnie, of course, we've been married almost, what are we coming up? 17 and a half, right? So, I mean, no, I know she's going to leave me one day. Listen, don't send me emails. I know she'll leave me one day. Probably when I don't know, after she takes all my money building the house, after she extracts all the money from the bank account, she'll probably leave me. After she meets some young buck in the Philippines, she's probably going to leave me. I know, but but it hasn't happened yet. And we're 17 and a half years into the marriage. And so what she gets is after just the first 2 years, she was eligible to 60% of my government pension just after 2 years. And so she's got that. And you can't get that if you're not married. You have to have the paper. You have to have the paper. You have to sign on the dotted line, and then she gets it, right? What is Peter? Peter's here. I've got a good health tip. Don't die. That's an excellent health tip. Don't die and you don't have anything to worry about it. Or do die and you have nothing to worry about. It works either way, I think. Peter, thanks for coming to the live. I haven't seen you in a while. All right, let's see. Yeah. Don't know why. All I can say, Tim, is look in the mirror and you should listen. No, I'm just kidding. my gosh, hilarious. All right, hilarious. There's Peter. Peter's here. Crystal's enjoying. Abby, yes, it's true, sir. Larry, just find a place which is not too expensive. That's right. Budget, budget, budget. Yes, that's the key. The key is budget your money, and don't worry about the rest. Listen, they will break you. Hey, Minge, thanks for being here. They will break you in the United States. Here's what happens. Even when you're on Medicare, let's say that you end up in the hospital for some reason, right? You've got Part A, Part B. Folks, it works like any health insurance in the United States. You have to pay co-payments. The co-payments can destroy you. If you own a house, they'll come take your house. If you own a thing, once you start owing them money, they're going to be trying to figure out a way to get it back, right? The way to defeat that is don't owe them money. How do you not owe them money? Well, don't be there when you get sick. No. No. I know it's a revelation for most people. Because it is very, very expensive medical care in the United States. The co-payments are ridiculous. The money we have to pay out for insurance and then co-payments is ridiculous, but not that ridiculous. And so I had shared, I'd given when I responded to this question that Mike was asking, should I give up my Medicare, in the United States? He was talking about Medicare B, because A is free, right? B you have to pay for. And then you need a supplemental plan to catch all the co-pays. I have all three for less than $270 per month. Folks, that's dirt cheap. If you come to the Philippines and you say, I'm going to get local insurance from Pacific Cross, guess what? It works great until all the way up to age 69. But guess what happens when you turn age 70? They don't want to have anything to do with you. And if they do, because you've been a great customer over the years, it's going to cost you a ton of money. So if you don't have if Medicare A, B, and whatever else in place in the United States, and something really terrible happens to you, terrible, you go back to the United States and you've dropped your medical coverage. Guess what happens to you? They say you have to re-enroll. And it's going to be a 10% penalty for every year that you are not enrolled in Medicare. A 10% penalty. And you could only enroll during open enrollment. So guess what? You get the big C. It's chronic illness, and you have to go back to the United States because you're going to need long-term care, and that Medicare is going to pay for it. So you go home, and this event is diagnosed in February or March. You go to March. You go to the Medicare office and say, oh, I need to sign up for my Medicare now, knowing that you're going to have to pay the penalty, but it's all going to be worth it because all your medical expenses, except for those co-pays, are going to be taken care of by having both Part A and Part B. They say to you, surprise, you can't enroll until open enrollment in October. And you're sitting there and your mouth is dropping open, but I'm dying. I need medical care now to prolong my life another 5 years. They go, oh yeah, we understand. You'll just have to private pay until October. And then October, you're going to be eligible for open enrollment, and then you'll have to pay penalties for all the years that you haven't been a Medicare customer. The reason why they do that is they're trying to encourage everybody to enroll no matter what their circumstances is, because it lowers the cost of premiums for everybody, and it also lowers the cost of the delivery of services. That's why they do it. That's why it's important to keep it in place. All right, so we got that out of the way. I thought I presented it beautifully. Don't you, Menge? Don't you think that I presented that beautifully? Peter, I know it works differently in your part of the country. They hate you guys there. I don't really know why. It's complicated, it's complicated. I don't know why you want to live in Cebu. They have more Dunkin' Donuts there. Yeah. Oh yeah. They have them everywhere, everywhere. And since we're talking fast food, I just want to say that the Jollibee here in Bye Bye City Leyte is getting. I mean, it's going down the toilet by the moment. I keep giving them chance after chance after chance. But why? Why is it that the food is so inconsistent at the Jollibee in Bye Bye? I have no idea. So one day you can go in there, right? You get this beautiful spicy chicken made fresh, right? And then the very next day you go and you order the same thing and you get this disgusting blop stew on a plate is the only way to describe it, with rancid, that was fried in rancid grease. It's like no one is in charge of the quality control at the Jollibee. You get the stale French fries, you get rice that's been sitting there a day and a half. I have no idea why it is, but Jollibee Bye Bye City Leyte, I've given you enough chances. I've talked to the manager. If you want me to come over and run that place, I'll run it for you. And I'll show you what the restaurant, how it should be run. But you chasing your tail over there is not going to get customers through the door, especially when we now know that McDonald's is coming. So once McDonald's opens their door, will I be at Jollibee? No. Right now, I've changed my behavior. I've changed. I'm not going to go in there anymore because the food is too inconsistent. However, the Jollibee in Cebu, fantastic. The one with the robot, the one with the robot. In fact, I have yet to have a negative experience in any Jollibee anywhere else except for Bye Bye Leyte. It's like no one is paying attention. And so I'm glad I got that off my chest. And in the meantime, it's Mayong, or it's going to be that chicken place next to the Dunkin', that Chicken King, who does a much, much better job. They do 10 times the job that Jollibee does. Listen, the name is only going to keep you afloat for so long, Jollibee. It's only going to keep you afloat for so long. And then it'll be like yesterday when Minnie and I went in there and we looked around at lunchtime when the place is usually packed and there's nobody in there at all. Pumpkin Joe says the Southern Island, like Mindanao, are much cheaper than Cebu. I know. I've been there. Davao is very large in many cities and provinces where quality of life is very achievable on $1,000 USD budget. And I know this is a fact, because I have also been there, so I know. Now, that's not to say that they don't have inflation going on here in the Philippines. They most certainly do. They have terrible inflation going on here. You have to mitigate that. You're going to have to adjust your lifestyle a little bit. No Jollibee for you. Home cooking, home cooking for you is on the menu. Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad I got the whole Jollibee thing off my chest. So I can meet you guys. Yeah, well, we're going to be heading up to Pangasinan. So Pangasinan, I haven't been there in a while, but when we make that journey up to see Daisy Lynn, we're going to keep going north. We're just going to keep going north. We're going to go probably to Baguio City. So we're going to pass right through Pangasinan. We'll just jump off. We'll jump off right there at the National Highway, and we're just going to make that left turn and come and see you, Crystal. We're going to be there. So we will be there. What does Tropical have to say? I'm behind. My wife has been threatening to leave me since the day we got married. This May will be 41 years we've been married. What a liar she is. Yes. And she probably already has all your stuff anyway. So what the heck, You might as well stay together now. She already has all your stuff. The house, she has all your money, she has your retirement benefits, Social Security, and the whole thing. So why bother? It's too much paperwork for nothing. Your wife is going to leave you as soon as their house is done being built. Ah, that's a problem. That's a problem, except that I didn't pay for the house being built. That was all Ma'am Minnie's money. I'm living here rent free. My biggest fear is she's gonna kick me out. All right, so we're gonna get an apartment in Cebu, and there are a whole bunch of different reasons for that. You know, one is when it starts raining like crazy. You know, here in Bye Bye, then I could go somewhere else where it's raining like crazy. We can go over to Cebu, but there's a big difference there, right? They have Ayala Mall there, and they have Seaside, and they got all these places. They have everything. It's a whole different lifestyle, you know. They has Osmina Circle, you know, and I love all those areas, you know. So if we were to get bored, come on, honey. I'll say, come on, honey, grab your stuff. We're going. We're going to Cebu. We're going to the apartment in Cebu. Yeah. She'll love it. Yeah. Well, it didn't take very much of an effort in order to convince her to do it. You know, she sees the benefits of it. And then also you have the airport right there. Why pay for a hotel room? You have the airport right there. 10 days in a hotel would eat up that $300 monthly budget for an apartment. And so we'll just sign a 6-month lease at a time, you know, 6 months at a time, furnished apartment, and then we'll see how it goes. It's a test. It's a test to see if it'll work out, you know? Bye. Oh, wait. Hey, Des, if you're going downtown, right? Look for me. I will be there. I will be there this morning at the Dunkin', so I'll be looking for you. Okay. Yeah, Peter says he lives a lot less than that here in Australia. You need to set yourself up right first. Yeah, don't be playing around. You know, if you have the goal of keeping everything minimal, you know, living like a minimalist is a good idea. Then put your plan together. Put your plan together. Make it happen. You know, dreams do come true, but it's not a dream. You plan it. Well, you dream it. You think it, you dream it, and then you do it. You know, you put it together like Peter did. Aileen Cruz Official is here. Hi, Aileen. So let's see. What else I want to talk about today? Those were the important things. The Shack Up Honey. Don't believe in it because there aren't benefits to that for your live-in Filipina. There are no benefits to that, you know. And you know, get real, guys. You know, get real about that whole talk that, oh, I don't want her taking all my things. All right, you just got there telling me you only have $1,000 a month budget. What things are we talking about? What things are we talking about that you're afraid of losing? You know, only animals to support. Well, Peter, you need to get over here and you need to get with someone. You know, you need to get married and you need to bring her back to Australia, obviously. You know, and so it should be easy for you because they're used to provincial living. They're used to living in the country. And so this should be slam dunk. Zendi is here. Zendi. Hi, New. You've been here for a while, Zendi. No worries. No worries. I'm just excited today. Just excited. I'm just happy to see you. Yeah, of course we're coming, you know. Hey, Crystals, is there not the Starbucks? You guys have a Starbucks there now. Why would I not come there? Because I have learned, actually there's been a Starbucks there for many years. It's just been a long time since I have ventured up there to Pangasinan, but I love it there. I love it. I would live there if I could. You know, I love it there. What are you laughing at, Larice? What did I miss? Yeah, the elephant thing was hilarious. The elephant thing was hilarious. I loved it. It's so me. That's right. All right. Yes, you're not growing it right. Yeah, it's a dwarf. It's a dwarf elephant. Tropical Nim says we don't order delivery from Jollibee anymore. One time a bucket of chicken, they gave all wings. The next time the bucket of chicken was all legs. Listen, I'm done with them in Bye Bye Sea Lady. You hear me? You hear me, Mr. B? You know, and I hope that doesn't offend the beekeeper either, because I'm sure that he loves the Jollibee because he's the beekeeper. So no. I've never seen the beekeeper in Jollibee. You know, I'll bet you that the beekeeper is cooks at home a lot. So anyway, the other thing. All right, check this out. I don't know if you guys would be interested in hearing this or not, right? But I was in Metro Mart. I was in Metro the other day. They had homemade tortillas. It said right on the package, Mexican tortillas. So I like tortillas. I'm Mexican. So I go in there and I buy a couple of packs, right? And they were delicious. They were delicious. And then I go, man, these are just like my mom used to make. And on the package it says made in Manila, made in Manila. I'm like, well, that's interesting. You know, they got tortilla factory in Manila. I'm gonna have to visit that someday. Anyway, I went back to get some more, and guess what? I couldn't find any. They were sold out. They sell out like that so quickly. They were telling me that they sell out in minutes once they place those out there. So I'm going to have to show my wife how to make tortillas so that I can get my tortilla fix. So I was surprised. I was surprised that they were there. I was very, very surprised they were there. No question about it. Did not expect to see them at all. Did not expect to see them all. Noel Chavez, how are you? All right. So, yeah. Well, you know what? Larice is making an excellent point here. KFC is the way to go, but if there's no KFC here, you got to go 45-minute bus ride to Ormoc on the express bus, the Metro bus, or what do they call it? The MRT, whatever they call it. You have to go north. You have to go to Ormoc to get the Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so, but you have plenty of people here, you know, that sell that very, very tasty chicken. You have Chicken King or Chicken Wing or whatever it's called. When I plan on going here, you'll be the first to know because you're the number one contact. You know, I'll be setting you up good. Larice, I'll be setting you up good. You're going to come to Manila. I'm going to get you a 4 or 5 star hotel room, and we are going to have a great time in Manila. And so you're going to be the first to know when we're coming. I've talked to the wife about this. She's cool. She's on board. McDo, there's no McDonald's, but one is coming. And so if that Jollibee doesn't clean up its act, right, I'm going to tell you something. They will lose this business at a critical juncture, you know, once McDonald's gets here. We know McDonald's has purchased the lot. We know that McDonald's has the lot. And so once they start building, I'll take pictures and I'll let you know. It's going to be a typical freestanding drive-through from what I understand. Leonard, hi from Houston, Texas. I hope all is well. and you made it. You made it through another day in Houston. You know, lots of things are happening in Houston, Texas. Yeah, well, Starbucks, you know, they're a little pricey. I don't understand why you pay the same American price for a cup of coffee at Starbucks, no matter where you go around the world. This was very frustrating to me in Thailand. You know, when we were in Thailand, we wanted Starbucks. I'm kind of that way, the same as Tim K. You know, every once in a while you get that, you got to have it, you know, because maybe they put a little extra something in there, flavor enhancers in the coffee, something like that. But every now and again, I have to have it. And so I'll pay the $3 and we'll end up in a Starbucks. You haven't gone there? Well, Crystals, that's where we're going to meet. We're going to meet at the Starbucks. Yeah. If you're good with that, you know, we'll meet there. How about that? Good evening, my friend. I haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been? Where have you been, my friend? So, let's see. Jollibee doesn't give an 8-piece chicken like KFC in the West. 2 wing, 2 breast, 2 leg. They just give what pieces are in hand. I've had Jollibee and KFC where it was all breast all times. I'm a breast lover. I'm a lover of breasts. I think that's okay to admit here. Let's see. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know. I think I need to learn. I think I need to learn how to fry up my own chicken here at home. Do it Filipino style. You know, chicken joy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't need to go out all the time, every day. Yeah. I know. It's something I shouldn't be doing, but I'm going out there just about every single day, getting so like a Myong. I'm probably headed after the Dunkin'. We'll probably head over to Myong, and we'll probably wait for Des to show up over at the Dunkin' Donuts first. You know, make sure that I get a couple Bavarian cream donuts for the family, and then you know we'll head over to Myong and get a burger or something, and I'll be passing right by the Jollibee as I'm walking over to Myong, saying, "Hey, we ain't doing you today. We're going over to Myong's. We're gonna get some real tasty food over there." You guys know what I'm talking about if you've ever been in Myong's. We have a real small Myong's, but they do a mighty fine job over there. So Charmaine is here. Hi, Charmaine. Good to see you. Thanks for showing up. Oh, you probably have to make your own applesauce, Tim. I will bet you. If you guys know where you can get applesauce in Pampanga, let Tim know. Tim, I'm sure, would be very appreciative. All right, so I know you guys know that the military is headed back to the Philippines, and I'm already starting to see military personnel show up, and people are sending me messages saying that they're seeing U.S. military personnel in Manila and Cebu. I'm not sure. Listen, this is mostly anecdotal. All I can report on is what I've seen. But I'm getting email messages from friends that live in those areas. They're telling me they're seeing what they think are U.S. military personnel. I didn't think that they were going to be showing up so soon. But apparently, you know, we have a few hundred troops already on the ground in the Philippines. I'm kind of happy about it because that means that they're going to be hiring folks, the military will, and they'll be hiring local folks in order to provide supportive services for the people that are coming over here, the military personnel that are coming over here from the United States. This, of course, will be a big boost to the economy. Let's see. Okay, Dan, I'll bring my own pack of coffee at Starbucks. No, I think you're missing the point, Crystals. You're missing the point. No 3-in-1 Nescafe allowed, Crystals. You can't walk through the threshold of that Starbucks carrying 3-in-1 in your pocket. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. It's like going into church after not being there for a very long time. God shall strike you down. Doosh, lightning bolt. Doosh. Where have you been? Doosh. What about you, Mel? You coming downtown today? Hey, take care, Tropical Tim. Thanks for dropping by. We really enjoyed your comments. Thank you. A couple of you have been uncharacteristically quiet during this live today. Yeah, I just would like to point that out. Uncharacteristically quiet. Take care of yourself, Tim. Have a fantastic tropical day. Yes, shout out to all 17 million people in the house. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, 17 million people, for coming to the live. I really appreciate it. That's a pretty good number. I haven't seen a number like that in a long time. Thanks for sharing, liking, and subscribing, tagging, and whatever words they use in those social media platforms. Beth. I have one final thought to share, I think, before we go. Oh, I know you guys don't want to attend. Neither do I. But, you know, I thought you were kidding. Yeah. I got the joke. It was funny, Crystals. It was funny. I want to talk about one more thing. Oh, yeah. Folks, it's tax time in the United States. I have most of all the paperwork that I need to start it. I don't have all the paperwork yet, right? It's a very, very complicated tax return that I have to do this year. Tim says, I don't go to church anymore. I don't want other people to get hurt when the roof caves in. Yeah, no, well, God's pretty good about just striking you down. Yeah, people will just be talking about you in the pews, Tim. They'll be saying, oh, that's the third one today. Yeah, they have a pile going. Yeah, in the rectory. Just take them to the rectory and just throw them in the pile. 90 thumbs up. No way. You got to be joking. I hardly even get one thumbs up. Peter said, I've been trying to patch in an extra 8 solar panels of the system for days. Too many bloody visitors and coffee breaks. The coffee breaks are what's going to get you every time, Peter. Inomako Cafe. Yeah, the coffee break is what's going to get you every single time. But I'm glad you're doing that. So that means you're powering up. That means you're going to have everything off grid real soon. That's exciting. That's very exciting. I'm happy for you. Oh, yeah, so sad to go to church again. Yeah, why don't you have church come to you? You do the online church. Yeah, that seems like it would be a lot safer. Abby's been kind of quiet. Abby, what do you got going on? Abby is usually chiming in, saying all kinds of interesting things that I look forward to. Abby's been kind of quiet. Donuts and coffee. We're headed for bye-bye real soon. So anyway, I have to do my tax return, guys, and I'm not looking forward to it. It's very complicated. You know, it's complicated because I was employed part of the year. Minnie was employed part of the year. Each one of these is a separate piece of paper with numbers on it. I started collecting my Social Security. I started collecting my retirement. I started paying my Medicare premiums. I started using I don't know if you guys have ever heard this term before, but probably not. But they have this thing, it's called, because lot of people don't even know it exists. This thing called a retirement health savings account. So where I work, my employer put aside a little bit of money every paycheck. That did not come out of my paycheck. It came out of their fund. And they set it aside and they said, Dan, since we don't provide company paid health retirement benefits for you, we're going to give you a little bit of money so that you could play with after you retire. That'll help you transition your healthcare stuff over. I actually should have talked about this during the healthcare segment. But so, yeah, I know, Peter. Congratulations, man. That's the way to do it. Pretty soon the electric company is going to come looking for you, though. I wouldn't be surprised if a SWAT team shows up at your door and they stand there making sure that you don't make a move until they hook you up to the grid. That's what's going to come next, I'll bet you. Anyway, so I started taking distributions from that account. There wasn't that much money in it, but there was enough that you wanted to get your hands on it, right? And so I have to figure out that distribution of those funds. It has to go towards healthcare. Otherwise, you have to pay a 20% tax penalty. So I paid some premium payments using that money. And then I forgot about it. I kept getting debited into my checking account, several $100s every month. Well, I found out I have to pay taxes on that. I'm probably going to owe taxes this year because I was a bad boy. I probably will have to pay penalties because I was a bad boy. More coffee you drink, the longer you will live. I will live forever. Me too. That's the game plan. Enjoy life. Drink more coffee. Oh, you were cooking breakfast. Okay. Hey. Oh, listen, Abby. I don't want to get in trouble with your family. Your loved ones. Go back to I know what it's like in the morning when people are waiting for breakfast. You're the one that cooks it. I don't want to interrupt. Anyway, so it's a very complicated tax return, and I have to figure the whole thing out. You could see I'm like frustrated. I'm already frustrated because I know later on when I return back to the house, I have to figure all this stuff out. Yeah. I started by writing everything. I don't want to show you all the numbers, but I started the stuff came to me through email attachments. My son sent them to me. So I got, my site ain't what it used to be. So I got page after page after page after page and another page of information, right? All this stuff has to be transposed some kind of way into an online computer tax reporting system. And it's going to take me hours and hours and hours. And, I got to do it. Otherwise, what's going to happen. Federal government is going to come looking for me. They're going to send, military personnel or IRS agents to my front door. They don't care that they have to come to the Philippines to find me. They will find me. You can run, but you cannot hide. You can run, but you can't hide. That's a fact. I think going to church and mingling with believers strengthens you. Just saying, yes. I almost wasn't able to get that out. Strengthen you, just saying. Yes, you can pray wherever and whenever. Okay, so you beat us to the argument. Crystal, is that right? Is that right to beat us to what the next line was going to be? Is that you can pray whenever, wherever you are? You knew what people were thinking. You knew. So I think we all ought to just take a moment of silence and pray to make sure that it is Saturday. I realize that, but they do have Saturday Mass. Say a prayer and, a moment of silence. Amen. There. And go to church tomorrow, or at least go to Mass tonight. For all you people that don't want to be seen in church on Sunday, But so I think Crystals is making a good point though, and that is that it's the camaraderie. It's the same thinking, like thinkers, all on the same page that strengthens you. Anyway, I don't go either, but I'm afraid, like I said, I'm afraid to step through, and then all of a sudden, right, as I'm putting my fingers in that holy water, make the sign of the cross, what's going to happen. What's going to happen. I'm going to end up grounding myself, and I will be fried. I will be fried, just like those fried scorpions that people eat in Thailand. Instantly fried to a crisp. That's what would happen to me. Guaranteed. That's what would happen to me. All right. So the tax thing I'm not looking forward to, because that's going to be, I do my own taxes. I'm in the Philippines. I have to do it online. I have probably 30 or 40 hours worth of work to do. And then after I get done with this tax return, next year's is going to be easy, because I only have a one-time thing here of complicated stuff to do. 1 year only. It's the transition from working life to retirement. But you got to get it right. Because the government has their eye on you. They have their eye on you. I mean, on me, not you. They have their eye on me. So anyway, you hear the rain. I don't know if you could hear it, but it's pouring. Doesn't matter if it's pouring rain or not. We're still going to head downtown. We're still heading down to the Dunkin'. So we've been going hour and 45 minutes. That's probably more than you cared to have been here listening to me talk. Yeah, that's right. That would be more than a bucket. That's right. That would be more than a bucket of fried chicken. I know. I want to talk about weight gain, and I want to talk about carbohydrates and stuff like that. We'll get to it next time. We'll get to it next time, because hey, and don't forget to chime into Daisy Lynn Castro's channel and her beautiful voice. She sings like a bird. If she's in the mood to. That's the thing I noticed about Daisy Lynn. Daisy Lynn, if you're in the mood to, you sing like a bird. People love it. People love you. They love your voice. But she does live streams most days of the week, except on a Sunday is Family Day, of course. And so don't expect to see her live on Family Day unless it's a special occasion. But she definitely is worth going in there and then signing up and then participate in the chat. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful experience. I appreciate all of you being here today. We're headed down to the Dunkin' for our morning libation, and we hope to see Des there and her friend and Mel, Des's babies, and anybody else who cares to show up there at the Dunkin' this morning. If I'm there, then the donut is on me. But you have to remind me that I said that here on this live. You have to say, Dan, the donut, man. You have to say something like that to me. And then you go over there and then pick out your donut. All right, so we're headed over there now. So if you're coming from Bunga or you're coming from one of the other provinces that's a long way away, you better leave now, because I'm going to beat you over there. I'm going to beat you over there to the Dunkin', Des. That's right. It's donut time. Thank you so much, Crystal, as always, for being here. And oh man, should I be leaving now that all of a sudden we broke a record? We now have 19 in the live. Should I be leaving now? But it's time. It's time to get out of here. It's time to head down to the Dunkin' for my morning libation. The Bavarian cream donut, and with chocolate icing, of course. and also the cup of coffee. But I just want to remind everybody, another reason why I go there is not just for the coffee and the donut. There's another reason. As you know, I used to work for Dunkin' Donuts as a young adult. And so the donut picture of the original Dunkin' Donut that hangs inside the lobby as you're walking in is the same Dunkin' Donut that I worked at in outside of Boston, Massachusetts when I was a kid. And so I think it has something to do with that sign. It has something to do with walking into the lobby. So if you guys go to a Dunkin' Donuts, it has a story about Robert Rosenberg or how it started. You'll see the sign. It shows the old school Dunkin' Donut, with the old 1940s cars or 1950 cars that are parked out front. Well, that Dunkin' Donut later became, if I have my factoids correct, it later became the training center for future employees of Dunkin' Donut. And so one of the requirements is that you guys got to go there and you got to learn how to make the donuts. And so that is the same training center that Dan went to, for which he graduated with a degree in donut shop management from Dunkin' Donuts University. That was the old Dunkin' Donuts training center. And so you'll see the front retail store there. And then next to it, you're going to see like a square building. That was the actual bakery part of it, or the actual training center. And so you can date with me. Bring donuts, Larice. There you have it. I know you're a Krispy Kreme person, Larice. Make no apologies. Not necessary to apologize, but I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Krispy Kreme. There's nothing wrong with Krispy Kreme. There's nothing wrong with going down to your local bakery, Crystals, and paying 5 pesos for donuts. They're excellent donuts. I've had them. They're very, very tasty, and oftentimes they're more fresh. They're fresher, more fresh. They're fresher than you can get, at the Dunkin'. So I've been there. I don't blame you, and they're only 5 pesos. So if you got 5 pesos, you head down there, and then you get yourself some 5 peso donuts instead of having to pay the 25 or 30 pesos for a Dunkin' Donut that are rolled in there from a factory somewhere, probably in Ormoc. Yeah. But anyway, all the lies I've told today, I'm sticking to them. And so, I'm glad you guys have hung with me throughout the broadcast. And now, if Larry's still listening, you know what to do, Larry. You know what to do to take us out of this live. Tim and everybody, Larice, Crystal, Minge, Zendi, Tim, Tropical Tim. I really appreciate everybody coming in here. All those that Mel, Daisy Lynn, Babe, Abby, I all appreciate you being here. And here's Larry Lee. Take care of yourself, everyone. Stay safe and healthy. Plus, always try to have fun. Yeah. Rules to live by. Always try to have fun. And if you can't try, then actually do it. And I will see everybody in the next live.